viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
I joined because I wanted to help others.
To be a part of something bigger.
To show my kids what's important.
I joined to make my community stronger.
To make a difference in someone's life.
To acknowledge that our freedoms come at a cost.
I joined to honor my mom.
My grandpa.
My neighbor.
Everyone who served.
Who are serving still.
I joined.
I joined.
I joined the Legion.
This is Rogers TV, Grey County.
Hello and welcome to this special edition COVID-19 Rogers TV program dedicated to providing you, our community, with information about services and resources available to you during this pandemic. My name is Merton, and before I welcome our guest to the program today, for those of you who watch the show, you know that I like to say a few words of thank you just at the beginning. So, I would like to read to you some excerpts from an author, Alison Wines. She had sent a letter, and this letter came to me through Francesca Dobbin, who is the Executive Director of United Way, Bruce Gray. So I'm going to read some excerpts from paragraphs within that letter, and then I'll add a few comments at the very end myself. So there is an invisible group of people who aren't being recognized, who are working intensely to keep the world turning, to make sure that those on the front lines have the support they need, and those at home have something to go back to when we get to the other side of this. Who are you? You're the HR teams working 80-hour weeks to start workforce planning from scratch, redeploying team members, trying to think something, anything to preserve jobs. You're the CEOs of charities, writing new budgets so you can keep helping the world with funding that has evaporated overnight. You're accountants and bankers, restructuring finances and debt to help small businesses stay afloat. You're trade managers, negotiating frantically to get hand sanitizer and face masks into our country. You're consultants, supporting clients through massive change, unsure if you'll get paid for what you do when this is all over, but you're doing it anyway because it matters. You're hospital administrators, running payroll for the nurse that just clocked 30 hours of overtime. You're communicators, trying to find the words to explain a crisis like this, the likes of which we have never seen before, to your organization staff and to our community. My words to you are this: you are not invisible, and we are sending to you our most heartfelt and sincere thank you. Your efforts are deeply appreciated. And on that note, I want to also thank our guest today, who is Carrie Saunders-Willis. Carrie is from the YMCA, and Kerry today is here to talk about all of the initiatives that the Y has done as a result of COVID-19, trying to deliver programs and services to you, and really intriguing how they're going online with virtual gyms and other initiatives as well. So Kerry, thank you for joining me today on this program. And I'm wondering if you could just introduce yourself and in your role at the Y, and then tell us about how the programming is working now.
Great. Well, thank you for having me, Carol. I really appreciate it. So I am Carrie Saunders-Willis, Manager of Human Resources, Health, Fitness, and Aquatics here at the YMCA of Owen Sound Bruce. So I have been with the organization coming up 3 years now, and I absolutely love it here. COVID was not at all what I expected when I joined the YMCA, as nobody did. So we have been working very hard to ensure that we continue to deliver community supports that we're able to in the form of new methods. So thankfully, and I can't take credit where credit is not due, our wonderful Ys out in the West, Western Canada, put together this wonderful Y Thrive program, which was initially started as just fitness-based, do-at-home free program, web-based, that individuals could do from the comfort of their own home and from the safety. As we know that recreational facilities were shut down, so we weren't able to continue to have our members come in for physical activity. And we also know that physical activity is so very, very important to not only just your physical health and well-being, but also your mental health. So the Ys across the country have been working together on how we can continue to support those communities, and Y Thrive was developed. That was the initial platform. But out of Y Thrive, we said, well, our mission really is spirit, mind, and body. So what else can we do to add to this program? And that's when the YMCA at Home was born. And that platform contains Y Thrive, which is the fitness-based platform. And it contains a variety of fitness programs for individuals with different levels of fitness. There are yoga programs. There is a gold program, which is for people with limited mobility. There's some more intense trainings there, and there are also some workouts for youth as well. So under the Y at Home umbrella, in addition to Y Thrive, we've incorporated Y Play, which was to really help parents at home keep their children engaged and active with some fun activities. So there's lots of things on Y Play. There's arts and crafts, there's songs, there's also Y Well, which is the mind and spirit body part of what our mission is. So there are mental health resources on there. There is a registered psychologist on there. There's some great meditations as well. Also some yoga on there as well. And we also launched in partnership with the Bruce Gray Catholic District School Board, the Y Gym. So the Y Gym is focused primarily for school-age children, and it is a fitness program that physical educators can use through their online teachings in conjunction with what they're teaching and delivering through the school board, but they're welcome to use that platform as well. So that's sort of the health and fitness and aquatic side of things. Unfortunately, the aquatic side, as we know, we don't have any aquatics at this time, so we're hoping that will happen sooner rather than later, but we're not sure when. So that's the health, fitness, and aquatic side. On our childcare side, our childcare staff have been very diligently keeping in touch with the families and the kids that they support. They've been using an app that we launched just this year called WeMarkable. And they've also been using our Facebook platform to have story times with the kids. And I just need to go back a bit because we also locally here do yoga sessions with Kathleen. So if anybody out there knows Kathleen, our wonderful Kathleen, Kathleen does fabulous live yoga sessions on Mondays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Trevor Clark, if you're looking for something a little bit more challenging, our dear Trevor has done some wonderful workouts that you can try. They're quite good. They're also posted on our Instagram page and as well as Facebook. And our Brandon Downing has done a toddler workout. So he's used his toddler for some weight training at home, and it's quite cute. It's really good. Now, our community initiative staff, they have been exceptionally busy during this time, and our employment team as well. So our community initiative staff have continued to support the community by helping people access housing, by ensuring that they have food, nutritious food as well. They've also been working with individuals who have maybe needed to apply for government supports, as well as helping them work on some of the their resumes and re-entering the workforce once we get there. Unfortunately, as we know, many individuals have been affected through the COVID, through either temporary layoff or permanent layoff, and that has been very challenging. So we here at the Y anticipate when we do reopen that our numbers will be down. However, we also anticipate a greater need in the community for some financial assistance. So we have launched a fundraising campaign called Stay With Us. There is no Y without you. So we are asking individuals that are able to donate to us so that we can continue to support those members of our community that maybe are in a financial position to access some of the facilities and the resources here.
So, and that answered one of my questions, because our concern has been why memberships help to fund the programs.
Yes,
and at this point, you need the funds, I'm sure, to be able to provide the programming. So you're mentioning that people can donate to keep the programs going. Are people, the memberships that are currently in place, what happens with those?
So we placed those all on hold immediately once we learned that the facility was closing. They were placed on hold. So we're not taking membership dues from individuals. And just as an example of how fabulous our community is and our members, we have had a number of members reach out and say, well, just please continue to take my membership. I'd like to continue paying. So that's the type of community that we live in. And that's one of the things that makes being at the Y so wonderful, is you do get to see these people daily. And COVID has been very hard for staff and for members, because we're very often seeing these people on a daily basis, and now we're not. As you can see behind me, I'm sitting in the gym and it's really lonely.
You're alone. You're alone.
I'm alone. Yes.
Yeah.
So we are looking for, oh, sorry, go ahead.
You had mentioned about partnerships, and the Y is very much a community focused organization, without a doubt. So you had mentioned about the Catholic District School Board. Are there other community partnerships, whether it's through the gym activity or others that you're closely aligned with?
Well, our housing, our community initiatives department is very closely aligned with organizations such as Habitat for Humanity, the local food banks, to ensure that our those in need are getting the supports necessary. So we do try to work with other organizations within the communities to ensure that those that are most vulnerable are able to access those. Our housing team also works with Safe and Sound, so they monitor the after hours number as well, and work closely with the Owen Sound Police Services. So if there is somebody that is in need of shelter, that they can access that.
So you're online, you have a variety of programs. I'm not going to ask which is the most favorite, because everybody is different, right? Everyone's needs are different.
That's correct.
Which ones are used a lot? And are there particular age groups or groupings that you find are surprising you by going online and accessing?
I think what's been, well, I can tell you that for sure, Kathleen's yoga classes on our Facebook page, our live yoga classes, are definitely a favorite. So that and Trevor's workouts are usually a big hit as well. So we are seeing a gamut. So our members range anywhere from youth to seniors. So we are seeing lots of different age groups using them. I wouldn't say that there's one more so in particular. And the other thing that's been really surprising is that our families in our child care, that use our child care, have been keeping in touch with the childcare teachers, and it's really nice when our childcare teachers post a story online that the kiddos reach out through social media to keep in touch with them. And again, with the We Markable app. So in terms of the fitness programs, I would say our most popular is those done by our local YMCA staff.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
if I understand correctly, then people have a choice to actually participate live because they can go on Facebook Live, or they can go onto your website, and there are things that are actually present, but they've been taped before. Is that correct?
That's correct. So the Y at Home, all of those videos are accessible at any time. Kathleen's live yoga sessions are recorded, and you can access them at any time too, but it's always more fun when they're live because they're interactive.
Yes.
And you can talk to Kathleen, you can send her a message. But yes, the Y at Home are pre-recorded, and you can access them at any time. So it's nice for those people that are still working, or that maybe still have the kiddos at home and are busy during the day, they can access them at any time.
So it sounds like the Y has been really innovative in reaching out to the community in a variety of ways. Do you see that this type of online platform, do you see it continuing in the future, even when your doors are wide open?
Yes, we do actually. I think that one thing, the silver lining in COVID, is it has really taught us how we can continue to fulfill our mission and reach out to individuals, maybe that transportation is an issue or mobility is an issue. And so we definitely are planning on keeping the online facet of the YMCA going once we reopen.
And living here in Grey Bruce, we do have snow. And
Yes.
imagine you can stay fit in the middle of a snowstorm, right?
That's right. That's absolutely true. Although I must admit that, despite all these fabulous online things, I probably haven't been as diligent as I should have been. I've put on some COVID poundage.
Yeah, that's another offside to the COVID.
That's right.
I think there are many, who, yes.
Yeah.
So are there other programs you might be thinking of adding online in the short term?
So one of the things that we have been discussing is if there are individuals that say perhaps are immunocompromised, or those with underlying health conditions that would like to continue their fitness, we are considering opening that up and enabling people to work out at home, perhaps with one of our fabulous fitness instructors. So we're looking at all options. So in the short term, we're working really hard to liaise with public health on a few things that we're hoping that we can open sooner rather than later. So we're working very hard to open as much as we can under the guidance of the government and the public health officials, because our primary focus is the safety of our staff and our members.
Yeah. So in an ideal world, if you were given the okay to open your doors, what would you consider as your priority to do, and how would you move forward? I'm sure you've had conversations about what it might look like as we recover from COVID-19.
Right. So obviously we're going to rely very heavily upon the expertise of our health officials and our local public health unit under the direction of Dr. Era. So we see us opening up in phases. So again, under their guidance, but we do see, say, a phase one where we would have limited access, and it would be for YMCA of Owen Sound Grey Bruce members only. We would have screening protocols in place. We would have very diligent cleaning routines. So that is what we're working on right now, is putting those protocols in place and documenting them to ensure the health and safety of those participants that wish to return to the facility, to ensure that they're all safe, and again, our staff as well. So we would also be screening staff before they were coming into work. So that would probably be done before anybody's even allowed in the facility.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I absolutely understand.
Yeah.
Why does, certainly you have options for group activities, individual exercise, workouts using the equipment behind you, but you also have swimming lessons and the pool fitness.
We do.
That, yeah, does that give you, any concerns about how you fit that in with the COVID-19 restrictions being lifted?
I don't see any other, I think that the concerns with COVID are for us general. It's, I wouldn't say it's more so in one area. It's, we need to protect everybody across the board, no matter what part of the facility that they're using. And we're going to be very, very diligent in ensuring that we have those protocols in place and that our staff are appropriately trained, that our staff have the necessary equipment available to them to ensure their safety. So that there are certainly going to be some changes here for us and for staff, but I think we're not going to look at one area more intensely than another. They're all going to be treated the same.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, under the guidance of the health authorities.
Yes, yes. From your perspective, what are you hearing from the community who are used to coming to a gym or to the pool, and now they're online? And then if you can also tell me, what are you hearing from the instructors who are doing these activities online? What's the feedback?
So the feedback from the instructors are they're really enjoying it because they're staying connected. We have heard from a few members. We did send out a member newsletter a while back and asked people to let us know what they were doing, just because we're missing everybody so terribly. And that was wonderful. And we really, really appreciate hearing that. So yeah, it's hard. We're hearing from many members that they can't wait for us to reopen and they can't wait to get back, which is very promising. And we hope that we're able to do that sooner rather than later. But we are going to continue to find new ways to support people at home until we can reopen. So, and again, there are some people, staff included, that are very concerned about returning. And I think that we're very fortunate to live in a community in Grey Bruce. I mean, if you look at our numbers and how we've been doing, we've been very, very fortunate. We haven't had any hospitalizations. There haven't been any fatalities. I mean, we've done very well. And I think that goes to speak not only about our frontline workers and our public health unit under the direction of Dr. Era, but also to our community members. I mean, people are obviously following the rules, which is great. So, and there's always that underlying fear too about the second wave that people keep talking about. So, yeah, so, we're trying to be cognizant of everybody's thoughts and feelings. We need to make sure our staff feel safe returning to work. And then that we have things in place to make sure that our members feel safe returning.
Absolutely. Now, we've talked about the physical, but you also mentioned the mind and spirit component as well to the Y.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if you could speak about the counseling and just some of the other stress relief, things that people are experiencing because of the self-distancing, the isolation, and maybe just talk about how the Y is meeting those needs.
Sure. So on our Y at Home, as I've indicated, there are some mental health resources. There are some great meditation programs on there. There is also a registered psychologist that does some classes on mindfulness and being present and dealing with stress. Yoga is a great stress relief. Actually, any physical activity is a great stress relief and is so beneficial for your mental health. So one of the things that we have been doing again is we have been sending out member newsletters and making sure that everybody knows how much we miss them terribly and keeping in touch with staff. Our health, fitness, and aquatics team, for those that could participate, we had a Zoom meeting, so that was quite fun. It's great just to see everybody's smiling face. And again, you spend so much time with your colleagues that they do become like family, and the same thing with members. We are so used to seeing so many of our members every day. It's very difficult. So one of the ways that we do try to maintain our mental health is to get outside. Now we have this beautiful weather, so we can get outside and enjoy the sunshine. Staying active, staying connected. So we have a few tricks up our sleeve, and we're just working on them in the background right now. But there is a few more things to come in terms of staying connected with our members that we're hoping to facilitate.
So in other words, stay tuned. The Y has more news to share.
Yes, we will be sharing more shortly. Yes.
Great. So I was fascinated to hear you talk about, the workout with the toddler, but also toddler fitness and toddler programs. I'm sure it's challenging for parents now that we know that school won't be resuming.
Right.
So the Y is certainly trying to meet the needs of the youth as well.
Right. Yes.
Are the programs geared in it with a different focus for the youth compared, or do you find that there's overlap between the fitness programming for the youth and also for those who are not in the youth category?
Right. Well, the Y at Home definitely has the Y Gym, which is focused more for youth, and even on the Y Thrive page, there are active or fitness exercises on there for youth. And again, the Gold program on Y Thrive is for people with limited mobility, but there's also some gentle programs on there as well that people can access. So it really is for anybody with any level of fitness. And one of the wonderful things about actually coming to the Y and doing a class is that the instructors quite oftentimes will give you modifications. So you can be a complete beginner and you can join any class and do okay and not feel terrible. So yes, but there are different programs under that Y Thrive that would be suitable. And also on the Y Play, there are activities, there are things, physical literacy for children as well, to help maybe some of those parents help their kiddos burn off some steam while they're at home. So there is the gamut there for all ages.
And the spin-off would be a stress release and relief for the parents if you burned off extra steam. There is a double benefit.
That's
sure.
Right. And then the other nice thing is that the some of the exercises that Trevor has done, our local Trevor, you can do with children, and you can modify them so that you can have your children participate. Even if it is a quote unquote adult program, you can certainly modify to have your children involved, and who knows, they may outshine you.
A little competition, perhaps.
A little competition, yes.
Yeah, for sure. So we have about a minute left in the program. Is there anything else you'd like to share that I haven't asked you about?
No, I think that's great. Again, I would just like to say a big thank you to the community for continuing to support us, and we are so anxious to get everybody back, staff and members. We are missing each other and members terribly. So, and again, we really do appreciate all of the support from the community to enable us to continue to offer programs in a new format, probably in future, but continuing when we're able to reopen.
Excellent. And I would encourage people to continue to consider donating to the Y to keep these programs going. I want to thank you so much for being on the program today, Kerry. This was absolutely excellent and great initiative by the Y. Thank you. And thank you to our viewing audience for joining us today. Please join us again to learn more about programs and services available to you. Take care, stay safe, take care of each other. Thank you.